How you doing, everybody? Arcader Zero here. I've been getting a lot of messages, and a lot of people ask me about One DnD, and they say there's a big hubbub about it. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I was sick over Christmas. Anyway, I'm just catching up on it. So I found this one video. The One DnD Scandal just got worse. So I'm really interested to find out what the scandal is. So I'm going to watch this. We're going to do like a little live reaction, and something tells me that people are overreacting. So let's see.
Sponsored by Squarespace.
It's sponsored by Squarespace.
Absolutely
Nice.
massive news for Dungeons and Dragons
Massive
was dropped
news.
last week, and it will have huge ramifications not only for Dungeons and Dragons but the entire tabletop role-playing game market. Hell,
So she's claiming that whatever D&D is doing is going to have huge ramifications. I can kind of see that because Dungeons and Dragons is kind of like a leader within that industry. They've obviously brought so much to the table and so many players and everything else, and expanded people's awareness, not just of D&D, but of role-playing games in general. So let's see what she has to say here.
the entire tabletop industry altogether. Card games, war games, role-playing games, none of us will be getting out of this one because once again, business executives want to suck society dry of everything that is fun and joyous in the world.
All right, so saying the business executive want to suck everything that's fun and dry. D&D is kind of like make your own fun. People make up their own house rules all the time, and but let's see how these executives are able to complete this Herculean task.
So, yeah, we're gonna be seeing some big changes in the next few years as a result. And the news for Dungeons and Dragons is... So last week, CEO of...
What the fuck was that? She's obviously talking about One DnD coming out in 2024. I've seen some of the playtest materials. I like some of it, but let's see what... She might have some new information to impart on me. Let's find out.
Hasbro, Chris Cox, and Wizards of the Coast, owners and rulers of Dungeons and Dragons, and the card game Magic the Gathering, had a fireside chat, aka a webinar live stream for investors, aka a desperate ploy to save their stock price before it tunnels to Australia. This shareholders only audio live stream was focused on Magic the Gathering because Magic the Gathering is in a bit of a pickle for lots.
Okay, I don't follow Magic the Gathering at all. I don't play that, so I don't know. But if they're having a meeting with shareholders want to know how you're going to make profits. As someone who owns a small business and a corporation, I understand what these meetings are supposed to be about.
That suffice to say, when a corporation has a good thing, they will always drive it into the ground. They milked the cash cow dry and slaughtered it for beef.
That's not always the case. I mean, they're in the business to make money. And if you have shareholders, they're in the business to make money for their shareholders. But go on.
And more despairingly, Dungeons and Dragons got mentioned in this call too. Shareholders were given a glimpse at the future of Dungeons and Dragons. Oh boy, what could it be? Could it be a cool new adventure? Perhaps a new book filled with tables for DMs to use in their games? How about a free DMs kit PDF sent out to encourage more players to make the transition from playing in games to running their own? Will they be updating the Book of Erotic Fantasy for 5th edition?
This is a commercial. Book of Erotic Fantasy. I didn't know that was a thing. I'm going to try and buy that now. Honestly, let's skip over this commercial. There's someone who's complaining about monetization of D&D. Her channel's pretty monetized.
What could it be? What could it be? And it's an oppressive monetization regime. Yeah, that's right.
An oppressive monetization regime. Fuck, don't you know they're in a fucking business? Those people have houses and families they need to take care of. They're trying to make money, okay? And they're trying to also deliver something that people will enjoy. All right. Go on. I don't even know who the fuck this is. I've never seen this channel before. It was just one of the ones someone sent to me. He said, check this out.
New and innovative ways to give Hasbro Wizards more of your money for things you didn't know you need, or actually need. You see, as we were told in that fireside chat, Dungeons & Dragons isn't a game. It's an entertainment product.
I'll agree with that. Yeah, Dungeons & Dragons is an entertainment. I've always said that because if I'm spending, $50 on a module and I get like fucking 6 or 7 months worth of playtime out of it with my players, that's better spend money than going to the movies. Unless it's a Marvel movie. Those things are worth gold.
It's a lifestyle brand. Chris Cox, CEO of Hasbro, waxed lyrical about how D&D has penetrated the mainstream market. What was the litmus test for this? Well, everybody at his cocktail parties recognizes the words Dungeons and Dragons when he mentions it to them. That's not a joke. That's actually what he said. Well, there we are then.
All right, so the guy used a personal reference, but I think we can agree most everybody, when you say Dungeons and Dragons, they know what you mean.
It seems D&D has achieved maximum cultural relevancy. The cocktail clubs know all about it.
I can't believe I've never tried role-playing games before. I'm gonna go home and tell the whole rugby club about it.
The only
That's the IT crowd. I like that show.
problem is, even though everyone knows about Dungeons and Dragons, those mean old human beings aren't giving Hasbro Wizards all of their money. This is why Hasbro Wizards...
And once again, she's exaggerating. Nobody gives a game company all of their money. Everybody survives. At least they try.
actually believe that Dungeons and Dragons is, quote, under monetized. That's right. It's not that it's unprofitable. It makes plenty of money. It's just not making the maximum amount of money ever possible.
You know, it's under monetized. I'll kind of agree with that. As someone who has a shelf back there just chock full of deep. Oh, let's see if I can show you that. I don't know if you can see it. That is, see that shelf right there, behind there? That shelf is full of D&D books and other role-playing games. And then I got another shelf outside in the hallway that is absolutely filled with role-playing games. And I spend the majority of the money on it. My players don't, because I can share on D&D Beyond. I can share my source books and everything else. So there's some truth to that. I don't want to just getting so fucking bent out of shape. Go on, girl.
Not to worry, though. Hasbro Wizards have a solution. Quote from the Fireside Chat. D&D strategy is a broad strategy. It is a powerful brand comparable to Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter. We are going to imbue it with blockbuster entertainment, AAA gaming, D&D Beyond, hobby stores, and accessories. Our consumer products team and licensing team will work to create new collectibles, toys, and games. Wow, brave new world. This is the now typical self-regurgitating Hasbro business model, a blueprint 2.0.
I don't know about you, but in the 80s, when I was playing D&D, I wish I could find more D&D shit. I wish I could find, things. It was tough to find. You had to go out. Sometimes we travel from Rhode Island out to Connecticut just to one specific gaming store that had more shit than our local place did. People have it too good these days. Let's go on.
Blueprint 2.0 is executive speech for expanding a franchise through a mix of entertainment licensing and products, which then become more profitable because Hasbro can turn those shows and movies into toys and licenses, which can then also be sold, which then turns into more shows and movies, creating this god-awful cycle, like a human centipede.
A god-awful cycle. I don't know where the fuck she's coming from. When I was young, the entertainment we had for D&D was pretty horrible. I mean, we look back at it with nostalgia. We had that horrible D&D cartoon, and now you've got like this awesome shit from Critical Role, their animated cartoon was friggin' awesome. I mean, blows the stuff we had back in the 80s away. Like a human centipede. Someone telling me this girl has just like no life experience. Go on.
Peter Boris from hell. This is how they plan to grow profit by 50% over the next 3 years. It's a self-eating worm, so
I bet you she's going to complain a lot about this shit, and she doesn't offer a solution to saying, here is how you should make money. Okay? She's just going to sit there and bitch and whine.
expect to see more t-shirt sales, more Funko Pops, more TV shows, dice, overpriced miniatures over the next couple of years. Maybe even another movie. It doesn't matter if that latest one is successful at the box office, by the way, because it has already been a success for Hasbro. As they told us in that fireside chat, they see it simply as a massive advertisement for the D&D brand.
Well, that's true. I mean, when you have an IP, an intellectual property, people will continue to put out media for it. I mean, the people who owned Hellraiser, they just put out shit movies just to hold on to the IP. Didn't really matter. Here's another commercial. She's making more money off of me. Go ahead.
That is the depth of their dedication to role-playing games. Role-playing is not an art, or a practice, or even just a hobby. It is an activity to be exploited, a mere source of revenue.
It's an activity to be exploited. This is a company producing a product, making money. Okay? If you feel you're being exploited, don't fucking play the game. Okay? I'll fucking buy the books. I don't care. I'm not being exploited. Okay? I'm doing something that I enjoy. I wonder if she even plays.
Revenue. But honestly, Blueprint 2.0 is not really the bit that scares me. Go ahead, sell your t-shirts, sell your plushies, license out cards.
Okay, so she just complained about everything and said, well, I don't mind that. I don't get this video. Can somebody else help me out here?
Cartoons, whatever, go nuts. That doesn't bother me. It brings more people into the hobby, spreads the joy that role-playing can bring. Sure. What really bothers me is the next bit. See, on that call, we were told that dungeon masters, the people who narrate the actions of the game world and often take on the heavy lifting of organizing and managing D&D games, they are the biggest spenders in the TTRPG hobby. Despite making up only 20% of the player base, the majority of D&D purchases is made by DM.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm a DM. I spend probably a lot more money than most people. Not just on D&D, but on other role-playing game books. Shit, I got a bag full of Star Wars dice. Got like 200 Star Wars dice, which I never used because we play online. But I bought it. I don't feel bad about it.
That's Dungeon Masters, not Discourse Minis. This is not a surprise to me. It completely matches my 20 years experience in the hobby. And it is...
All right, so she does play. So she's been playing for 20 years now. 20 years. So she started playing in early 2000s. And I think that was when 3.5 was going out and 4th edition came in around there. Somewhere around there. Can't remember. I can't remember when I started playing 4th edition. I like the art in 4th edition. It was really good.
These people that Hasbro Wizards really, really want to exploit. Hasbro Wizards have
She keeps going on with exploiting. They're not exploiting anything. I mean, I've read on what changes are coming about in One DnD and some of the offerings, and I freaking love all of it. And I love the changes that they're implementing. Jesus fucking Christ. Go on.
identify their population of big spenders, aka their wheels. DMs are, in my experience, often the most passionate hobbyists engaged in in TTRPGs, and it is precisely this passion
Agree.
that will be exploited by Hasbro Wizards. But they're
She
not
goes with
alone.
exploited.
Hasbro Wizards will be, quote, supercharging play to grow profitability and returns for shareholders. What does this mean? Well, aside from all the tact and movies and peripherals mentioned before, it means that Hasbro Wizards will be looking to turn mere players into payers. And how they plan to do so spells a fundamental shift in the TTRPG hobby.
I can't wait to hear this. I just cannot wait to hear this. It's driving me fucking nuts, but I can't wait to hear it.
That terrifies me because we know where it leads. We've seen it all before. Just like you've probably seen some badly laid out websites on the old web. But not to worry, because today's sponsor, Squarespace, has the solution. Squarespace is the place to go to
so
if you're interested in
she's
building
exploiting
an
us
online
now
presence
with
at all.
Squarespace.
You can use a website
Really?
as a digital space for your D&D. Supercharging play. Under-monetized, trying to find new avenues of revenue. What does this even mean? What does more monetization for D&D look like? Well, they've told us. In this fireside chat, they said that D&D Beyond is, quote, a critical part of D&D's future, and it will be used to unlock recurrent purchases.
D&D and Beyond is like one of the best things, in my opinion. And we use above VTT to play D&D. But having everything in the character sheets and campaign and shit like that all in one place, and it's allowed me to play with like old friends, like states away, and having a good online strategy, I think, and I'm going to make a video about this, I think is essential for any new role-playing game that's coming out. I think they should have, at least like a, excuse me, a plan to put their game up on Foundry, so the character sheet, so people can get together and play. Because playing in person, yeah, it's fun, but it's a lot easier to play online. You don't have to get up, drive somewhere, never mind going 2 towns over or whatever. You can sit in front of your computer screen, sit in a comfy chair in the comfort of your house and play.
Is similar to add-ons in digital games. Oh, there it is. So it's getting a little bit less Dungeon Master and more Dungeon Keeper mobile. But they're gonna go further than D&D Beyond, because One DnD, the ultimate digital platform for Dungeons and Dragons, is coming. One DnD is at once the new edition of Dungeons and Dragons, and also its very own virtual tabletop system,
which is fucking awesome. I cannot wait to see this. Being able to just like the maps that they provide inside the books, which are translated to like PDFs or images, then onto Foundry. They're horrible, but if they're putting effort to put like a 3D dungeon up on there and it's more interactive and lively, sign me up. Fucking take my money.
with an integrated digital store. They told us it would have one, and that it would be fully integrated into D&D Beyond. Now we know what that'll look like, filled with digital add-ons. And of course,
I can imagine, I heard about this, and like digital add-ons, so like you can customize your character, you probably buy looks for it or whatever. It's something I do in Guild Wars, you know? I give Guild Wars too, like at least $50 every single month, and I don't have to, it's free, but there's shit that I don't want, you know? I said, ooh, I like that, I'll buy that. They're not exploiting me, making my own free choices here.
all of this aggressive monetization will push the D&D game design in strange, bizarre new directions. Directions that only make sense when the only motive is to drain the bank accounts of every player.
See, that's not true. I mean, D&D at its source, you can always just buy a fucking book and play at your table, you know? But
Game design decisions that will be skewed to encourage more spending. One D&D represents a fundamental shift in the relationship between the D&D developers and the fans. As a game,
I got news for you. You don't need to encourage me to spend. I spend tons of money on D&D already. I'll spend more.
It will become inseparable from the app and the consequent in-app store. And if you've played any video game in the last 10 years, then you know what that means. There is a terrifying future on the horizon for Dungeons and Dragons.
I can't take this girl seriously. Honestly, there's a terrifying future for D&D. No, there's not. Honestly. Oh, man. Go pick up some 3.5 books and, sit in your basement. Go on.
And really, for all TTRPGs, D&D Beyond...
For all TTR... Does she know how many tabletop role-playing games there are out there? If they set a trend that other people like, say, oh, this is good, this is the way people want to play, great, let's follow it along, But by no means are role-playing games bound to follow, or bound, contractually to follow what D&D does.
Already sells aesthetics and digital accessories like dice and avatars.
I actually got some cool dice sets on D&D Beyond. It's awesome. There's one, when I roll nat 1 or a nat 20, it summons this thing on the screen. It's cool. I love it.
But One DnD will be a brave new world.
Oh yeah, she's going to a cutscene now. She's overacting this. It's so hard to take seriously. Oh, she got to change about.
Here at Hasbro Wizards, we believe that Dungeons and Dragons is under-monetized. Step to the fore. One DnD, the virtual tabletop future of Dungeons and Dragons, where we've solved the #1 problem with the game. We just couldn't get enough money out of you. One DnD represents an exciting...
I don't know if she actually wrote this or somebody wrote it and she's the face person, but they're fucking clueless.
New realm of adventure for players and DMs alike. For the player, they can pay a monthly subscription fee for the basic classes, species...
I pay a monthly subscription fee already for D&D Beyond.
...and spells. And for Dungeon Masters, how about our premium Dungeon Master package of pre-made adventures and access to the Dungeon Master's Handbook?
I don't know where she's getting the numbers from. I think they're just making it up. But $20 isn't bad. It's a fucking pizza.
Sounds exciting, right? But don't worry, there's more. We now also sell all kinds of premium services. Things that might be new to players and Dungeon Masters out there. So for the players, find yourself dying in combat too much? Not to worry. Get a death save reroll for only 200 Astral Diamonds. One DnD's new premium currency.
I've never heard any of this. I think this is shit she's making up. She imagines it because the Dungeon Master controls much of everything that goes on here. But yeah, when I actually used to play in stores, some stores would actually sell potions and double XP and stuff, but that was kind of the cost of, them hosting everybody, which would be about 70 players every game night. And which everybody was happy to do because they wanted the store to stay in business.
Want to buy a new subclass for your character? 4,500 Astral Diamonds, please. We'll even throw in a free level up so you can try out your new subclass. That's almost...
Yeah, I don't think any of this is fucking true. I think she's making it all up. If somebody can prove me wrong and say this is the system they're going to, please comment down below, leave a link. But I think she's just making shit up now.
100% value saving. Want a cool new magic item? Don't want to go through the adventure path season grind? Well, buy your way to prestige magic items for a mere 10,000 Astral Diamonds.
Once again, that shit that's controlled by the Dungeon Master. Really makes me wonder, man, who the fuck wrote this?
Court the jealousy of your fellow players.
Why are we out here?
To celebrate the
commercial.
10-year...
But remember, they're just cosmetic. We don't sell power here. Yet. How about some convenience though? Why not buy to skip those annoying first 2 levels and start at level 3, getting access to your class features immediately? There's an introductory offer for new players of only 1,500 Astral Diamonds for the first 2 level skips.
Yeah, she's making all this up.
That's half price on the second level up. Think of the value. But don't worry, Dungeon Masters, we've got exciting things for you too. There's plenty here. We offer premium adventures complete with voice-acted NPCs for a mere 5,000 Astral Diamonds.
I would pay for fucking professional voice actors to be able to roll off audio quotes while playing online. It's tough coming up with voices.
Individual quests for 2,005 Astral Diamonds. Want to set your new...
An individual quest? I'd buy that. Run by like a bot or something? Fuck yeah.
Dungeon in the lush rainforests of faraway Exoticotica? Well, new dungeon biomes can start at only 1,500 Astral Diamonds. Add some character to your adventures. NPC profile pictures start at only 200 Astral Diamonds. You can get 2,000 Astral Diamonds for only $10. 5,000 Astral Diamonds cost only $20. Or
once again, the system that she is proposing is one like Guild Wars has, where you buy gems, which works.
Or you can check out my favorite package. 1 million Astral Diamonds can be bought for only $450. Wow, what a savings! This is our biggest value package ever, so you'd best act now. Offer ends this Sunday. And remember, the store is rotating, so log in every day to check out your exclusive deals. And for those who don't want to pay anything, you can get all of this for free. Simply recruit 5 friends onto the app and you'll get 50 Astral Diamonds for
once again, she's making shit up.
for free. So there's no excuse not to enjoy. Welcome to One DnD, the future of Dungeons and Dragons. A dream for some, a nightmare for everyone. We should prepare to see a steady
Zamir, does she seem crazy?
pipeline of dross made available for Dungeons and Dragons in the future. Cosmetics for characters, virtual dice skins, new character portraits. Likely, we're going to see digital exclusives. Perhaps.
See, this transition to digital, I don't know, look at this. This is, here. Look at that. That's a miniature I bought to play at a live game. I painted it myself. I did a crappy job, but I'm still proud of it. He died first level. Done. I have to go buy another miniature. Are they exploiting me because characters die? I mean, I can use them again some other time, but...
even to the extent of subclasses exclusive to use in the app. And all of this will be wrapped up in a unique digital currency designed to obfuscate the true cost of what you're purchasing. This isn't an unreasonable prediction. This has all happened before. It's a recurrent nightmare. Every time something gets profitable, just a little tiny bit, they hoist the entire fist in. It's too much. No one can take that fist. Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons will be pretty unrecognizable in 5 years, and then the rest of the TTRPG hobby in 10. There's always one company that pushes forward ahead of the rest, but everyone eventually sees that there's money to be made, and they follow it. It's gonna be really rough, and I get what a lot of people are probably thinking here. I'm just not gonna engage with it. It's not going to affect my playgroup. And you know what? Maybe it won't. Maybe it won't. There's lots of people out there with closed groups who have consistent players and have no interest in this. I count myself as one of them. But for new people coming into the hobby, this will all...
She really is closed off. I can't watch this anymore. I mean, the bottom line is One DnD in the future, they understand that the online component is extremely important. They're out there to make money. There's no mystery around that. That's not something that's new, okay? It is a business. It is a company. And they are listening to the players. They're doing... you've got the PDFs you download, and you can actually do surveys and give your feedback. Please do. But I don't know. Is it me or is this lady's just really fucking crazy?